Attitudes Reflection Paper, Richard Robinson III, Colorado Christian University. So what is an attitude? According to the dictionary, an attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. According to our book, Dr. Sabies describes an attitude that is similar to that. She describes it as a summary, evaluative reaction of a target, which can be found on page 237. So today, for our observation, we're going to call our participant Jane Doe for our safety and for her safety. As we observed Jane Doe's attitude, we noticed that her consistent mood changed throughout the day. As the day progressed, I noticed that her attitude would change depending upon the issues that she currently faced. Some of those changes were very subtle, and then there were those that were very obvious. So if I had to do an hypothesis regarding why attitude does or does not change, I would add some of these variables: problem solving, decision making, loss of appetite for food, religious belief, or persuasion. There are many things that can contribute to the person's way of thinking. Some of these things are wrapped around the amount of problems that they have to face on this particular day. Also, having the lack of energy or food choices would also impact the attitude of a person on any given day. With all the recent events in the news, as well as her spiritual beliefs, these things impact the way that she feels about a certain thing. So what is the function of an attitude? One of the functions of an attitude can be found on page 244. It is to help navigate through the world. Another function can be increase in affiliation, which is also found on page 244. And then another one, navigating through the world, is also found on page 244. The author says that attitudes can help us organize our complex social world because they enable us to interact with it without having to reevaluate the same target person or situations each time we encounter them. Attitudes can also help increase our affiliation and connections with others who we share similar attitudes. They can be a form or self-expression. Our attitude can also boost our self-image as we consider them the right ones to have. So what does Scripture say about attitudes? Romans 12:2 says this: "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." In essence, Paul is saying, do not allow the world to shape who you are. You must be transformed, your mind must be changed, and it must be replaced with the same mind of Christ so that you can have the same attitude and outlook as Christ had about the world and about yourself.